Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Keith. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yourself?
Yes, good. Thank you.
Firstly, I want to ask you: is your body still burning from yesterday?
It's 24 hours, so I'm just past it now, so I'm better. It was this morning, I must say. I hate losing. Honestly, just hate losing, no matter how well performed. That helps a tiny bit. But yeah, it is what it is. Look the game back, and very pleased with the performance overall. I think if you look over 90 minutes, I think there could only be one winner. That was us. Then, of course, I respect how football works, and when you don't take your chances first half and so on. But we at least should have got a draw. First half, is even more dominant that I thought after I looked it back and look at the numbers: 63% possession, 9-2 in shots, a number of chances and dangerous situations. That is very, very impressive compared to what kind of team we're actually facing. So many positive things to take away from the game, and we need to learn from the things we need to improve. Especially their second goal is a goal that actually can cost me sleepless nights, because that's an area where we actually are better than most of the teams. But we corrected it today, and hopefully we're not going to see that at least for a long, long, long time.
I guess you're learning every day in the Premier League. But did yesterday, your result and then results elsewhere, did that just kind of typify the craziness of the Premier League?
Yeah, but I think it's part of, in a way, keeping us on our toes, because I'm so aware that I know it's about Stoke. That's the only game I'm thinking about. But let's say we can go to Burnley and we can potentially lose 5-2, because that, Watford Everton result, and we know that Norwich lost 5-0 or 7-0, sorry, to Chelsea. And of course, Chelsea are not beating every team 7-0. And next time Norwich are playing them, they're not, it's just showing that some of the teams have so much quality that if you are relaxing or you're hitting them in a bad moment where they're just on top of their game, everything can happen. And of course, the Man United Liverpool is a freak result as well. Yeah, one game at a time.
Talking about one game at a time, obviously you've got Stoke midweek. How do you see these games, Thomas? I mean, is it a little bit of a distraction away from the priority? Like, how do you view this cup competition?
Okay. I think I always like to be as transparent and honest as possible. Of course, if you ask me which one is the most important tournament, Premier League, of course. But for me, the next game is always the most important. And we want to do everything we can and try to win the Carabao Cup. Why not? To do the best we can. And that's why we are in this round, and we are going to face a very good team in Stoke, where Michael O'Neill has done a top job and stabilized the club, and now they can really compete for the at least top 6 places. They are in joint 5 position, and you and I know that top 6, 8, and bottom 10 in Premier League. The difference between those teams are very, very little, especially over 90 minutes. So it's going to be a very tough game, but we are going there, and we are going strong.
Thanks, Thomas. I'll pass on. Cheers.
We'll go with Ian Abrams from Talk Sport next, please.
Hi, Chris. Is it me next?
Yes, Ian, please. Ian Abrams, yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, Thomas. How are you?
Hi, Ian. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Some difficult questions for you to answer today. Do we need the League Cup? I mean, do you need the League Cup? You just said your priority there is the Premier League. For teams in the Premier League, that's their priority. For teams in the Championship, their priority is either staying up or going up to the Premier League. And people every year are saying, do we need the League Cup? I'm a fan of it, but I just wonder what you are.
Yeah. I hope I said it correctly. If you ask me, you smash me up towards the wall and say Premier League or Carabao Cup, then I say Premier League. But I mean it. I want us to do everything we can to try to win the Carabao Cup, because we are in that tournament. So we want to do the best we can. And I love the cup tournaments. And the more the longer I'm staying in this country and learning about the culture and the history, the more I love the cup tournaments. The more I love that we have 2 cup tournaments, and I think it's a big thing. I think, though, it's a good thing that it's only 90 minutes and not extra time. I think that's very important. I can't remember, do we have 2 semi-finals or 1 semi-final? 2? I think that's a crazy thing. That's hopeless. I don't know, sorry my language, who the F getting 2 semi-finals back into that. I think that's totally crazy because we have enough games. But I love that we have this cup competition.
How easy is it for you to the mentality of your squad? Every week at the moment you're underdogs and you love it. You know, the whole bus stop in Hounslow thing, the crowd really getting behind you. You know, whether or not you're actually winning games, you're really smashing teams. Chelsea and Leicester have both had probably the hardest games of the season against you. But tomorrow, or against Stoke, you're going to be the favourites. You're not the underdogs. You know, you're the big Premier League team swaggering into town.
You should be a salesman here, Ian. I like that. I don't think we are the big Premier League team, you know, swaggering into town. But yes, we are a Premier League team facing Stoke in the Championship, and we're very proud of that. But I know how difficult it is to play against Stoke, and I faced them last 2 times. I went to Stoke, we lost. And we haven't added that many players to the squad. They have neither. So it's going to be unbelievable difficult. And I just said that the difference are like this is so small between the 2 teams. But of course, I know we Premier League their championship, so that's why we should be the favorites. So yeah, take that on that on us. But if you look at the bookmakers, I don't think we will be massive favorites away from home against Stoke.
Are you going to play Ivan Toney? Does he want to play because he needs a goal?
Let's see on Wednesday. Ivan loves to play football. If he could choose, he'll play every single minute of every single game. And I don't have one player in my squad that don't want to play every single minute. So that's a fantastic mentality. And regarding the goal, yeah, that will come. I'm not worried.
Just a couple more. First of all, set pieces. You scored from one, and you looked very dangerous from them yesterday against Leicester. We saw West Ham beat Spurs scoring from a set piece. They score from a lot of set pieces. How important now in football are set pieces, corners, free kicks?
I think if you want to be a good side, then you need to be good in all phases. That means you need to be good in the counter-attack. If that's one way of scoring goals, you need to be good in established play where you are building on breakthrough against established defense. And then you need to be good on set pieces. And I think if you're not good on set pieces, it's a waste of opportunity. Then, of course, I know some teams are designing their teams to be better in some of these 3 key areas than others. But I think it's an area you need to be good in.
I think Egil Olsen was manager of Wimbledon when they were very, very direct in the 1990s in the Premier League. And I think some teams almost overlook set pieces because they don't want to be labelled in that kind of the way the Wimbledon were.
Yeah. I respect all style of play. You all remember Wimbledon, the way they played back then. And you know, if I could choose, I like to play 100% more towards Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City because they dominate, and that's the way, you know, we have our own style. But if you ask me if I want to score on set pieces and get a goal from that, yes, please. I want to get as many goals as possible. And as far as I know, for example, I think Liverpool is top of the league in terms of scoring goals on set pieces. So, you know, you can't neglect that today in the modern football.
And finally, obviously, when you were in Denmark, you would probably have heard the phrase, the only phrase really that counts in football. We use it about whether Messi could ever play in England and Ronaldo and all. Can you do it on a cold Wednesday night in Stoke? Yes,
we can. That's the aim. I'm not in doubt that we will go out there and put a good performance in, and let's see if it's enough.
Top man. See you soon.
Thank you. Welcome.
Jim from PA, please.
Hello, Thomas.
Hi, Jim.
Hi. So, can you just get a quick squad update on how the guys are doing after yesterday? Is there anything you can share with us? Or is it a bit early still?
Yeah, no, I can share with you that Brian Puemo and Ethan Pinnock will be out for Wednesday. Hopefully, they can be available for Saturday. That is too early to say yet.
And
the rest are fine.
And Bemo's injury, and I think Pinnock was a hip, but what's Bemo? You're able to?
Yeah, a minor hamstring issue injury. So it's not a big one because then I was just ruled out for the next couple of weeks. So it's that's why we took him off. So hopefully we took it in the early stages so he can be available for Saturday.
Can you just give us a quick insight on Marcus Forss? I mean, obviously he did very well against in the Oldham game with more than half of your goals. Is it difficult for someone like that to have to sit and wait for the opportunity? Is he someone who constantly sort of knocking on the door and saying, look, what else do I have to do to get in? Or is it just the fact that in the Premier League you have to be patient?
I think you need to be that in any team, more or less, depending who you are as a player and how much you have played. But especially when you are a young-ish player that haven't established himself yet. I'll put it this way: I'm 100% sure if we play Championship, he will play maybe be the number one striker. But of course, we went a level up, and we need more than one good player. And I think Marcus has gone through a very good development as a player and as a person. So I would say, when he was younger, it was more that he sometimes came and knocked on the door. Now he knows what he needs to do, and that I like him. We like him, and when the opportunity is there, then that's where I need to be ready. And then I and my coaching staff, especially in this case, is depend a little bit. Sometimes it's Kevin O'Connor, then sometimes it's Brian Reimer. This case, Brian is very on top of him in terms of extra training, feedback with video, and of course I'm do that as well. In terms of make sure when he gets the minutes or the opportunity, he's ready and available.
That's great. Thanks very much. Best of luck in the game. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have John Lupo, please. John Lupo, please.
Hi, Thomas. How are you?
Hi, John. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Ian mentioned the matches against Chelsea and Leicester, and while those obviously weren't the results you wanted, do you feel like just from a performance standpoint that the way you guys came out, and as you said, you dominated the second half against Leicester, do you feel like on top of what you did against Arsenal, the draw against Liverpool, just from a performance standpoint, do you feel that shows not just yourselves, but the rest of the Premier League, how you've adapted to top flight football and how you continue to evolve as a club?
Yeah, I think so. Every single game is only a snapshot, but if you add all the snapshots together and look in the performances in that perspective, I think actually we have had a quite impressive start to the Premier League. And also because I think we only played one bad half. I think it was second half against West Ham. The rest of them I'm pleased with, or very pleased with. And I think, as you just said, I think we looked very strong defensively. I think we looked very aggressive and playing with big intensity in our pressure, and especially playing forward. I think we showed that we can play different ways. I prefer to play more first half we did against Leicester, where we dominated on the ball and completely controlled the match. But I know that we can go more direct than we did against Liverpool because we know they're a better side than us. And then we are strong on set pieces. I think we have a good formula to hopefully create some results. But I'm very aware, like we just spoke in the beginning with Keith about, that this is a relentless league, that we can't relax 1 second can't stop inputting maximum performances because then things can turn around.
Also, excuse me. Also, I know that Marcus had 4 goals in the last cup match. Do you anticipate starting him on Wednesday?
Yeah, Marcus will start. That's one. 100% sure. I think he's done fantastic in the cup tournament. I think he had a very good substitution play against Chelsea, and I think he did many things right. He was a little bit unlucky where the ball dropped and in the situation against Leicester, but as always, he were working very hard in the pressure for us.
Is there any way you can? I know that there are a lot of games, obviously, in between cup games. Do you think there's any way you can keep Marcus sharp? That if he can't replicate a 4-goal performance, do you think there's just any way you can sort of keep him in that form? Obviously, his confidence is very high in the cup tournament. So, is there any way to just keep him in that mindset going into matches like this?
I hope that, I know, of course, we all know that match rhythm of playing games is important for players. So I'm not neglecting that. But I really hope that the performance and training culture we have, where we train very hard every day, and my performance staff and my coaching staff are very, very on top. They know what I want and what we want. In terms of how hard we need to train to keep them and their fitness and their intensity to the highest standards. So it's easier for them to just step in and play and perform. And then we do everything we can to do extra, for example, with finishes, with Marcus, getting him into the right areas in the box, create the right situation where I need to perform. And we hope that can keep him to a high level.
Also, finally, Stoke are flying high in the championship so far. They've been in and around the playoff places pretty much the entire season. When you've had a chance to look at them and what they do, what do you think the keys will be? What do you guys have to do? What do you guys have to take away from them in order to move on to the next round?
I think they are a very energetic and aggressive side, the press forward. I think they can mix their game up a bit. They can both play, but they can definitely also go a little bit more direct. But the biggest thing that we need to avoid is we need to close down their crosses. They cross a lot, and they cross well, and they arrive with a lot of players in the box. So that's an area where we need to defend very well. And then hopefully we can, in spells, create the situation we want, either by get more on the ball, depending on their pressure, or create those dangerous situations behind them.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Good luck on Wednesday.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Uzi, please.
Good afternoon, Thomas.
Afternoon, Lucy.
Just going back to Stoke this season. They've only lost once in 9 games in all competitions at home. How hard are you going to have to really work to try and progress to the next round?
It's going to be a unbelievable physical battle. Not only tough duels, but also the running, the pressing, the defending, attacking. So we need to be absolutely on it. We need to put the same intensity and output out there like we did against Leicester. We need to add that Wednesday against Stoke. And as Ian said earlier, can you do it on a rainy day, on a rainy Wednesday away to Stoke? Then you'll be fine. When I'm thinking, I don't think I managed to win all there. We lost at least the last 2 times, 1-0 and 3-2. Oh my God. Then thank you guys. Then I think I walk off because no. Okay, I didn't know that. So now we have something to prove. So now we know it'll be difficult. I just think it tells everything about why it's going to be so difficult on Wednesday. But of course, we believe that we can do it. I think we haven't done anything than breaking club records the last 3 years. So we'd like to do that as well on Wednesday.
Yeah, and also with, we're not expecting like a full team now, but for this game, do you plan to mix it up, or do you want to try and go, full for the jugular and maybe, field more like first team players in order to get you through to the next round?
No, we need to put a strong team out there. Else we will not have a chance to progress to the next round. Exactly how that team is going to look, you will see that Wednesday. But I will definitely not make as many changes as I've done the first two rounds. We'll go strong.